we'll check. Give me 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure that you guys can see me and then. Yep. So yeah, I think I'm like to see somebody saying hello. So just like I said, just bear with me for 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure that everybody can see us. Yep. Okay. So hello everyone. Glad you guys are here. Let me just perfect. My name is Nathalie DeSousa, and I'm gonna be your host for the next little bit. Welcome. It's 2 o'clock, sorry, 1:30 here in Toronto, Canada, which is where I'm coming from. I know that it might be a different time from where, or where you're watching from. Some of you might be watching us on replay. Thank you, anyways, because we appreciate it. Um, Today we're going to be working with the December kit, which it arrived already last week, and I was ready to go on, but life happened. So we had to like last minute move it to today, and then I'll be back next week to live. So welcome everyone. I hope you guys are doing okay. We're gonna give it just a few minutes until somebody finds us. Anybody who's gonna watch live with us finds us, and then I'm gonna flip the camera and get started. I have an idea for the kit. Like I said, I haven't done anything with it, so whatever we work, we're gonna work together. We're gonna work it live as I did a little bit of work, but not much. So we're gonna literally just work from scratch. So I am, I think I've turned off all the volumes here. So hopefully there's no interaction or feedback. I don't think so. I'm just gonna double check on my phone. I'm going to set up so that any comments, it's hard for me to read them once I flip the camera, because I'll be looking down at my camera on this side. So I'm just going to set up my phone, my watch, so everything pops here. So just bear with me for 1 second, and then we're gonna flip the camera. Like I said, we're gonna give it a few more minutes. I hope you guys are doing okay. And how's the weather around your place? Like here, it's gonna get cold. It's supposed to be snowy starting tomorrow, I believe. So there we go. So and then we're going to see how we go from there. But it's winter, so you know better get used to it in a way, I guess. So I just making sure that I have everything. Once I flip the camera, I'm gonna have to just run to get my foam adhesive, which is on the side here, but I think we're good to go. So let me just flip the camera. Like I always said, it takes one button for me, so just bear with me. And there you go. My kit's there, my phone's there, you can see it too. And there we go. I just went to get my foam adhesive because I had it, didn't bring it to the table. So I have my December kits here. I love the fact that there's a nod to winter, there's a nod to Christmas, things that happen in December, not just Christmas, and like everyday life. So it's very colorful, actually super colorful, which it's good because winter can be drab and a little bit on the dark side. So I have my paper kit, sorry, yeah, my pattern paper kit. I also have the cardstock here with me, and you're gonna see that I've already cut up one, which is what we're going to use for today. So I have pretty much everything here. I'm gonna show you. I have my 2 packs of ephemera. I have some pictures. I wasn't too sure on which one. I have all the embellishments here. I left them like that. I didn't take them out of the bag, so I have them here. And I also have the dies. I didn't bring the color kit because we're not going to use it, but I also have the Project Life kit and the stamp. So I'm going to leave this handy here. Let me just move stuff as we need it. So today, like I said, let's move this to the side for we don't need it for now. So the inspiration for today is actually one of the dies from this month. This is the Stitchable Star Flake metal die. I am not going to stitch, but I am going to use it to be on my background. I loved the shape of it, and I thought it's just, a great way to not use paper, but just transform your pattern onto something else. So I've cut quite a few. I'm going to show you. This is from I think the name of the paper was Icy. Let me just double check. Sorry, Chill. Chill, and you're going to see that I've cut pretty much all of it. Okay? So I saved and some parts even have the UPT or the branding bar. That's okay because I'm gonna cut it. So my idea is to use the stars to create a background for my paper. So for that, I am actually See, and even though I have it on silence, it's still not on silence. For that, so I did that ahead of time because I don't want to bring my die cutting machine, but I have it on the side just in case I don't have enough. I do think I have enough. So I want to use this to create a new background for my project. So what I'm going to need though, to ease this and make it a little bit easier is a piece of vellum. So I'm using vellum because it's a little bit on the transparent side, not completely see-through. There's a little bit of an opacity to it. So you see things through it with a little bit of a shadow, but that's enough. So my idea is I want to build my background on this and then move it, and then we'll start auditioning paper. Now, for the pictures, I pulled a few. I don't know which ones I'm going to use, but this is pretty much my family. We live in Toronto, Canada, so that means there's tons of snow up here. So I brought things that, like, I don't know. I just bought a few pictures to have them ready. Doesn't mean I'm going to use all of them. I'm just going to use one. So we're going to get started. This is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I don't know if I want to cut it a little bit smaller for now. I might cut it to 10 by 8.5 just because I think it's going to give me that big edge that I'm looking for. And before, I'm going to just make a decision and say yes. Okay? So I want to create pretty much a cascade. I was thinking about it this way. Sorry, before I was thinking about it this way, but I think it's gonna take a lot of space. So we're gonna cut 1 inch off this edge ish. So it's not gonna be perfect. Yes, we broke this during the Christmas season, so I need to buy a new small guillotine. So let's see. Like I said, ish will make me happy. As long as it's straight, that's all I'm worried about. So I'm trying to, because the glare of the light is making it hard for me to see. So this is actually really soft vellum. It's not even the heavy one. That's okay. I just needed to hold the shape for me. Okay, so this is an 8.5 by 11. Perfect. So I'm gonna have the frame of the paper there, and I think you can see it. So my idea is literally I wanna create a cascade of snowflakes, but I wanna keep the edges nice and clean. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna do a little bit of when I cut. Like I said, I cut with the edges, so I'm gonna separate the ones that are full. These are partial, so partial, what edges, full, full, partial, full, full. And I haven't even popped the centers. Like I said, I am not going to stitch it. Partials, full edges, full, 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 partial, full, full, full. I think I have all my full. So just to make sure. And this took me like at least a good half an hour. I was doing it while I was talking to my daughter. So I have all my stars, just a way to make sure that I have them all here. These are the ones I cut from the edge. And like I said, I cut pretty much the entire paper. Um, I was trying to put it on the paper as I was cutting it, so it gives me a better idea. We're going to see, and I'm okay to use the partials. I think some of these two are partials. Let me just double check because I'm sure that some of them, the edges got trimmed a little bit, and that's okay. Because, like I said, it is going to be a cascade of snowflakes. If you stitch them, they have snowflakes. I am not going to stitch them. Like I said before, I'm going to use them in a different way. So these are full. I might have like one that are partial here. I can't remember. But so my idea is I want to create, like I said, the cascade going down. I want the clean edges at the top, but like kind of loose at the bottom. So let's get started. And for this, I am going to need my glue tape. Just here. And I am going to need a ruler. In this case, I'm going to use the grid on the back on my mat for this. So let's take a look. I have one or two here. So I want to start somewhere that is going to give me a bit of interest. So I'm going to say that I'm going to go around half here. So corner to corner. And then I'm going to show you closer. So you're going to see it's going to fit right at the corner in between like the little V at the top of the star. And that's going to be my lineup. So this is gonna be the star boy, it is a star. The started or I know it's kind of redundant, but there we go. So we're gonna set that up in place. Let me just glue it in place. I'm gonna flip it to the back so I can see it properly. You're gonna see that I'm not gonna put like a lot of glue. I'm not going to use my finger either to like press on it that much until I am sure that everything is gonna stay in one place. So the reason why I did this ahead of time is because creating this background is not difficult, but it is going to be a little bit moving pieces around until we're happy with what it looks like. Just let me see. I'm just gonna make sure that it's nice and straight. Okay, so there we go. So that star is gonna be in place there. One, and then we're gonna continue. So remember, I'm going to trim the top of this, so I'm okay with that. So you're gonna just going to kind of use the grid on the background for this. Okay, so I'm just trying to see where this lands. I think it's about there. The the little corner here has to sit right at the edge of the paper. That's what I'm guiding myself with. And I want it side by side. So again, a little bit of, not fully until I'm completely done with this part. So I have these partial ones here too, so let's use those. Okay, so let's see. Let's do the V there. Sits right there. Let's keep going. And you're going to, this is going to be a lot of like glue, audition, making sure it looks good, and then move on to the next line. So let's see. Tip at the corner. It's one of these partial ones. So the V is going to be like this. Then this is the part that I'm going to top right there. I think. So press. So I have my first row. Let's go with the next one. So I want to see, that's what the pieces, let's move these ones that are in pieces. Now I need the full one. So this is going to fit right in between here. Okay, so we're gonna go with the full ones right now. Okay, so starting to, it looks semi-straight. So now let's just build it, and then once we have it built, then we see we need to move them and where do we need to fill up more spots. So for now, let's just see. Like I said, I cut pretty much, not as I was cutting, I was kind of like putting them on top of the paper the way that I thought they should look like. So kind of had an idea when to stop and cut extras just in case. See, that means I have to trim here. So let's keep going. I have this one, it's gonna go right here. Vertices on the part of the V that are gonna sit right at the line here. See, right there. Point. That means that it's gonna be a piece of the other one that is going to, it's not gonna show. So let's keep going. Let's see. It's not bad. And let's see. I'm hoping it's semi-straight. It's not gonna be perfect, but at least semi-straight. So the vellum is just gonna help you hold it all together. So that's one of the good things about the vellum. If you went straight onto the paper, it's a little bit more difficult. Like I said, the vellum is just gonna help you with that. So let's see. There we go. One more. Actually, two more. Because you're gonna see. So just continue the pattern. But the thing here is I want it to be kind of hanging out a little bit more. See, that's what I said. I want this part to hang. So I'm going to need to pull this even higher. So we're going to go into, there we go. So now we're going to use the corners here. That's what I said. This is going to take a little bit of auditioning to get it going. So you're not going to, you can use a removable tape if you want to for this part here. It will help you. I'm just going, I'm using this two corners here to create the straight line at the top. It's what original had it when I started setting up this up. So this is the line. I have it. Don't worry about if you see the tape. Shimmy. This, that's one of the beauties of long nails. It lets me pull out the thing here. So let's see. Okay, that's much better. So now in between. Okay. You're gonna see why in 2 minutes. Because I want the stars at the bottom to be outside of the paper. Just the top, left and right, I want them to be nice and straight. But I want the bottom to be kind of hanging off the paper. So to do that, I have to move the formation a bit. Okay, let's get going. Again, the V here. There we go. And if the little centers of the stars come off, that's okay. It doesn't bother me right now. If you want it completely to be off, that's fine. I know by the time I move everything, a lot of them will come out, or I might go and poke them myself later on. But for now, it's not it's not like something I'm struggling with. Because I can have some hangouts and that could be one of them, but right now it's not. Let's see. Okay. That's better. Because this one will move with here. And then yeah, that's fine. I'm just hoping that I have enough. I think I do. So wait, I do. I think I do. Let's see. So I want these ones to be kind of like this. See, and this is gonna move up here. Or do I need to trim the paper lower? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna trim this paper around here like this. Okay. So I see where my reasoning is flawed here. So this one is gonna stay like that. So I'm gonna give it a little bit extra glue to hold them in place. I'm okay if some of the edges come lift a little bit. I just want to make sure that a lot of it is not going to move. Fine. Let's see. Yeah. You can see where the stitching will come in handy in this, but like I said, for today, let's see this one here. I think it's gonna come off. Let's see here. I think we're pretty good. So let's go and trim it up. Okay. And I'm going to trim this. I'm gonna get my big trimmer, and then you're gonna see what I'm gonna do. If you have a guillotine, I love it more than what's his name? I love my guillotine way more than my paper trimmer. Personal choice, but it gives me sharp, straight lines. It doesn't go dull as much as the other one, and you can cut through like each pieces of paper at the same time. So here we go. Okay, and I'm gonna take this from 8.5 to around, I'm gonna say 7.5, maybe an inch or so. 7.25 or 7.25. Okay, much better. Sorry about that. Here we go. The ones that I had full, let's clean it up. Let's see. Trim the excess in a bit. Let's see. So I want the stars at the bottom to be hanging off the square. I just want this straight. Okay. It just needs sister for this part here. I have a few extras just in case. Set them on the side. So I have my button. Okay. Now we got audition paper to go on top. So I'm gonna pull out my pattern paper. And I know that I want something like a B-side. Something that has a bit of something like this. It's kind of the idea. I like this. I think I want something a little bit more on the, not so warm, more on a cool side. So on stars. Not bad. Okay, one of the choices. Let's be on this side. I don't mind it on that side. Kind of a tone on tone. But you see what I'm talking about? You just want a clean edge. We're gonna pop this up too. So you just want to, you know, this contender. Too busy. You want something a little bit more on the plain side. No, too busy. No, too busy. Nope. See the pattern at the bottom? You need something that has more of a solid look to it. Not bad. You like that? See, contender. I like this. See, this one moved already. Start here. Okay. I like this. See, on the other side. Too much, but I do like this. The contender. I like that too. Too busy. I like this. See? But I think the color on the background is like, this is like a teal. It's not helping the, it looks nice on white. Like this. The yellow is another one that it has to be more. I don't want it to be completely solid, but it does need to be a little bit more on the kind of tone on tone. See, on the pink doesn't look bad. Hold on, that one. Too busy. I do like this though. I think if anything, I would do this so that it falls right on that edge, but no, not bad. Okay, so let's go with the contenders. Like I said, it's an audition paper. So let's see which one. I like white. It looks nice on the white because actually you can see the shape. It actually sells the shape of it. So I like this. Now let's try it. Let's see. Black and white, but the pattern kind of uh, no, not on this. So let's try this one. I like it on that too. I like the B side better. See, they already have stars. Let's see. No. So to me, it's between this side and this side. So let's do the smart thing. Let's see. Taking a step back. I think it's this one here. I'm gonna tell you the name of the paper. Give me one second. Just move the stuff out of the way. The name of this paper is Let the Countdown Begin. Okay, so I'm gonna take off the what do you call it? UPS, the branding bar. Everybody has a different name for it. I call it the UPS bar. But the naming brand. Okay, there we go. And of course, it's all done anyways. Let's see. It's a little piece here. Oh, that was the garbage. So there we have our background. It's ready here. Stick. See, much better. Okay, but to make it even pop a little bit more, we're gonna pop this up. So flip it onto the B side. Now we're gonna press so that the glue stays in place. Okay, and we're gonna get some foam adhesive. So let me get a chair, get comfortable. And then it depends on how, like, how high you want it. I'm gonna use some, I don't know how wide, I think it's 1/16th, the depth of, or width, I don't know how you call it, of the tape for this. And I'm literally going to go in the centers, maybe a little bit bigger. I don't want it super high because I am going, and when it comes to the corners, I'm going to add extra. So, because I'm still going to pop more pieces on this, and I do want to pop my photos. I do want to pop the stuff that's going to go on top of it. So I want to be in a way, I do want the stars to pop from the background, but I don't want it to have so much that it's going to look as like it's not gonna fit on my page protector. I want to make sure that it lies nicely inside a page protector, and or I can leave it outside, but I just don't like the ones that have like a lot of what do you call it? Like I was gonna say width, bulk. I was thinking for the right word, bulk. Okay, so you have to make sure that each one of the stars, though, it has a piece of foam adhesive. The edges, that's where you gotta be the extra, um, add the extra, because these are the parts where you know that it's gonna sit on your paper. So you wanna make sure that the edges and the center, you have the most. Okay, so just, this is the part gonna take the longest. If you have like pieces of paper, like, the paper, the tape that already comes like, cut into like these larger photos, then that'll be the way to go. I don't have that. So I have it, but it'd be like super thicker than this. So I'm going with something that it fits here. Let's see. Just tedious work. This is the tedious part of this. Let's see. And my scissors are getting gummy, so I might have to switch into another pair. But we're working there. So, I don't know. I haven't found a pair of scissors yet that doesn't get gummy on the background. like when you cut home. If you have one that is actually very good, let me know. I would love to get one because it takes me longer to clean this up. And I clean my scissors. I want to tell you because I know somebody's gonna ask me. I use a magic eraser to take out the all the gunk. See all this piece. I use a magic eraser to take all of these out. Once I have that, I resharpen it a bit. I cut some aluminum foil after just to get them back to not complete sharpness, but at least better than what, like, after I clean up. And they're okay. And I like these ones, but like I said, when I do this, especially like I'm doing a lot of it, I find it that they do get gummy, and I have to. Um, you're gonna see me flip into another one because it doesn't let me cut paper nicely. So, but since I'm already doing this, let's get them dirty, and then I do one single cleanup. This is the only part that, see, almost there, almost there. Listen, honestly, if you know of a pair of like scissors, let me know. I I've tried as these are Fiskars, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, these are Fiskars. Probably the best ones that I found so far. I had a pair of I don't know. Somebody told me the Team Holtz didn't help, didn't do what I thought it was going to do, so I had to go back into the Fiskars. This size though, the smaller size doesn't work the same way for me. I found that the smaller size it got gummier faster. Maybe because it's a shorter blade, but this one is, and it's supposed to be like it said, like what is the word? Non-stick or like the Teflon. I would love it to be just be able to keep cutting and nothing happens, but the reality is a little bit different. So, like I said, if you know, let me know because I would love to have a pair of scissors that I don't have to clean up after or that are not gonna get gummy while I'm doing this. Let me see. I'm almost there. Just want to make sure that when I put it back into place, it's not going to. Let's see. You see a little bit of the. Let me get another pair of scissors. There we go. Another pair. So there's enough for you to see the space in between, but not to be completely off the page. So now that I'm done this, we start the peeling part of it. And you do want to make sure that, you know, see, like I said, the most time consuming. And that's what sometimes some people are like, it's hard to just talk to myself. There's nobody, even if you're talking back to me, I can hear you. But I'm like, I have to keep myself entertained. Usually when by myself, I'm like the TV's on or I have like my radio, well, or I have like an audiobook and then I'm not talking, I'm just listening. I'm not big on podcasts. I know people like love podcasts. Not my cup of tea. I don't know. I don't know. People like, I know my children are, my son is huge on podcasts. Not, I'd rather listen to repeat on the TV or something that I already watched. So I know that if I don't have to watch it. I already know what happened. Like sign view, like I already watched it. So I'm okay with listening to it. Maybe that's why, and like I said, audiobooks, I wasn't into audiobooks, but I do like them. Especially if I've already read the book, it sounds bad, if I read the book. And then it also depends on who's reading it. Because not everybody that reads an audiobook, not everybody has the voice to read an audiobook. I don't know, I don't want to criticize, but there is certain readers, certain as in like the people that are reading the story that are not appealing to that specific story. So that kind of turns you off and then you're just like, don't want to continue. And there are some, readers of the story or the commentators, whatever, narrators, sorry, who make even like stories that are not the greatest sound really good. So you have to, I guess, the people that do a lot of audiobooks, if you read or you hear a lot of like, I know that that makes sense. I'm not good on memoirs. I don't like memoirs, but for some reason, I've listened to a few already that sound very interesting when I listen to them, not when I read them. So it's been, it's good. They're good. You know, I still wouldn't change within a book for listening to one. But it's like when you're working by yourself late at night or like, early in the morning, it's good company. So there we go. I think I have all of them. Let me yeah, no. So now we're gonna need a ruler. Here we go. So it's right on your site. And I'm gonna leave around, I'm gonna say around half an inch only at the top. Maybe, yeah, half an inch or so. Flip it to the other side better. I can, that is a half an inch. So what is that? And 3/4 of an inch, sorry. 3/4 of an inch. Let's see. So remember, this is 11, so 1 to 11. Sorry, it's 10 inches, not 11. 10 inches. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. See? It's a little bit of dimension, but not a lot of bulk. Okay? And the vellum, you can see it, but it's not like, taking away from it. So I love the background. I love that already. So now let's just audition some picture. I don't think I want to go with pictures that are horizontal. They will go like that. I need something that it's more on a portrait level. I like that. Or I can go with something here. I think it needs either the two of them or just the one. So I'm going with just the one. Right there. Let's trim and see what it looks like. Because like you see, I printed them, but I haven't trimmed them to size. So maybe if I make them smaller, the right size. They're around 3 1/4, but I print my pictures with a big white border, so they end up being around. This one here is around 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, so they become smaller. Um, but I'm gonna say like you don't want to go with a. If you want to go with a 4 by 6, just so it gives you an idea, you could, but just maybe just one. Otherwise, you're gonna take over the entire background, and that's what I'm thinking that just one picture might do it. So I don't take all the work that I put into building the background away. Maybe that's what I said, portrait. So it's the opposite of, I'm going to show you. So, okay, because I think virtually it works better. So this is what happens when you put two. Okay, kind of the background gets like, I don't know, doesn't look the greatest. If I go like this, see, if you have a 4 by 6, then this will work great. It kind of elongates the design. It doesn't make it wider. It elongates it. Okay. If I go with, this is a bigger, this is like a 3 by 4. That's not bad, but I think I want to go with something like this. I want the background to sell. And because I want to add more stuff. Now, see, this one doesn't hide on the background, just sits there. So I like that. Either like something, I think portrait is the way to go. Now, if you put your background this way, then you want to go horizontal. Okay, and then you can do that. It's just, the same idea that I did, but maybe do the two sides. Okay, but for what I have in mind, just so you see if I have like a portrait picture works better for this style. I don't want something that's super big, so I want something like this. I like that. That's the three of us freezing on a little walk around the block. Okay. I don't because it has like all those tones of blue, I don't think I want to go with florals. I don't know. This is as far as my planning went. Now we're going to work on this together. I think sure. So I do like the stars. Let's take a look at this. There's some frames that Okay, we need to back this picture. We need to make it pop a little bit more. So I'm gonna go into the project live for that. I haven't even opened it. That just tells you how I always tell people whenever I work my project, I usually like to work them the same way when you get a kid. You get your kid, you open it, and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? So I, because I've been in that position when you get a kid and you're like overwhelmed, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's all these beautiful things. So I'm like, okay, I want to work it the same way you receive a kid. There you go. And I want the paper here. I don't want the cards. The reason is the pattern is smaller. The scale is smaller, so the pattern tends to be tighter, especially on the B side. It goes more into a solid with a little bit of a little something on it. So that's what I like the Project Life papers. These are 6x8, in just in case you're wondering. It's tighter. The design is tighter, so it reads as a solid, but with like a subtle, uh, what I'm gonna say, more contrasty in a smaller scale compared to the larger size. I hope that makes sense. So I want to stay within like the blue. I kind of like this one. I'm gonna pick up two colors, but I want something that's very contrasting. I like this. I might go into this. So let's see. No, no, with the pink. Let's see. Okay. So see the same pattern. I'm gonna show you because it makes sense when you see it. See, like it looks the same, but the scale is smaller. So if I put my picture on this, but it looks tighter on that one. Okay, so the same thing with, let's take a look at this. See, you will see the lines, some of it, but if I put it here, you will see more of it. So I like the 6x8 for creating layers behind it. Okay. So we have now, it's just a matter of deciding. So I do want to get something that's very contrasted. So I think, no, I do think even this will work here. I do want to pick up some of the pink just to contrast. I have a lot of blue going on. There's a lot of teal in the picture too. So just looking at that, I kind of like this. Something good. Let's see. Not a yellow person. I know somebody's gonna be like, why? I'm not a yellow person. I do like that. I think I want to go. Okay. So see if I pull this, pretty much the same tone. It's like a lot, but I can soften it with something like this. If I go with a piece from here, so let's go at it. Okay. Another thing that I like to do, I'm gonna show you, is add a piece of cardboard or chipboard to the back of my picture. I like doing that just to give them a little bit of dimension, not to add bulk. You're gonna see in a bit what I mean. Usually use save the packages from your ephemera. I any project like I worked some mixed media that I didn't like that much. I usually use the B side behind my picture. I just like giving it a little bit of oomph without the bulk. So you're gonna see it kind of sits a little bit higher. I don't know if you can tell. Okay. I don't know if you can see the shadow. Let me see. See, it's a little bit of like a lift without that much work. So I do like this paper. Okay, so let's go at it. You see a little bit of the pink, you see the blue, you see the white, which is perfect. I just want some color just to make sure the picture pops. So this picture was a little bit taller, so it's around 4.25 or so by, I think it's like one of those pictures from the phone, so it's a bit skinnier than taller. There we go. See? Yeah, I like this. Let's just trim it a bit here. And then we're going to give it a second paper on the back. So, clean up. Yeah, much better. You see how it pops already? So let's see. Too much? Now we can go and play with something like either one of these ones. I actually like this. Yep. Maybe the yellow? No, I don't. Not a yellow person. I like horses. And I'm gonna put a little bit of an offset. Actually, you know what? Let's go like this. I'm gonna go pretty much the same, a little, just a tiny bit at the bottom. I need more things at the top. Yes, and then flip it. Okay. No, sorry about that. Yeah, I like that better. See, now my picture pops from the back. So I needed that. I might be able to do this. So I'm thinking might actually work on this. But for now, let's just, if we can leave it just white, I would have gone with like a thicker white. I think I need to kind of offset it to the, because my face is like right here, so I need to give it more space here. Just I can go like that too. I don't, but I have it here. I'm not gonna press yet, so let's just for now leave it like that. Okay, so it's just until we decide what we're gonna have. So now let's take a look. Here we go. Stickers. Tons of space at the top. So like I said, I don't really want to use florals because I was gonna take from the background, but you could if you want to. No, not for this one. But we need to add interest to it, so we're gonna do it in a different way. So here we go. Let's start with giving it, like I said, a little bit of an offset here, and we're gonna cheat a bit. You're gonna see. Take this, just cut a bit here. Just to sell the offset. Perfect. So I know something's gonna go there. So one, two, three. So that's how exactly we're gonna add something here, something behind here, and our title most likely here. So let's start with this part here. I kind of like this sparkle and shine. Again, don't press, just kind of lightly just got them. Okay. So another reason probably why I always have so much handy. Yeah, I can peel it off after. So what I'm gonna do the smart thing, just make it. All I'm doing is taking the stickiness out of it. I don't have my powder tool handy, so I use a piece of vellum just to take out the stickiness behind. Okay, so nothing is attached. So I'm thinking that I want to put that there. I need to build up that cluster. So let's see what else we have. Get some of that. Let's take a look. See, I know that the snowman or something that reminds me of snow can go there. So let's see. Oh, the sweater too. Tuck it in a bit. Mm, that was there. Let's see what else do we have. It's a lot of like, what is the word I was gonna say? All bundled up. Oh, it's probably gonna be down here or all up here. I don't know. Let's find another circle. These are a few of my favorite things. It needs to have a circle, so we're gonna aim for something round. Now it says party time. I wish it was party time. Welcome New Year. Let's see what else we have here. Blink, drink, and repeat. No, gather together. I'm just looking for the circles here. Holiday memory. All bundled up. So that's kind of, again, let's add a piece of vellum just to make it manageable. And that's how I work my projects too, just in case you're like, if you just do it. No, I usually do this. I have, okay, so just so you see what it looks. And here, you don't want to add a lot more, like a lot, because I do want to, like I said, I don't want to hide everything here. I like that. I like this. I need something, another circle down here. We need to build the title. So I'm just going with the main pieces right now. Okay. Let's see, there's circles right there that are gonna help me, but let's go with this one here. This one needs a magical moment, but I think I want to use this. See, like I said, I don't want it like that. See, circle, 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 kind of, and then like I need a big title down here. So let's see what do we have. I should probably look at the back of the. We'll see at home, bucket list, baking all sweets. I can add a title. And I have all thoughts. Trying to see my favorite music. I don't know, you guys. I struggle with titles. That's like my biggest thing is struggling with titles. Need a hat. We have a snowman up there. Well, all I doing right now is bulking up the design, bulking up the clusters, because and what a team all together. So I'm looking at this all together. Okay, I'm just seeing what we have here. Gonna move. If you have pets, this kit is great because it has a lot of like references to a lot of things that you be New Year celebrations. See, because right now all I'm doing is looking for things that I can bulk. See, I will take this magical moment here and go with it. Oh, what fun! Brings all the colors together. And just no, you need something not that scarf, maybe scarf there. Or actually, what is this? I like that better. Maybe that one. See, we're not cozy at home. But I do like the sweater. Oh, what fun! I actually kind of like it this way, but it needs a title here. I might actually move this here. Let's see something that is not. What do we have? What do we have? Maybe the scarf up here. It has to be something else that is kind of bundle related. Yeah, socks. Great. Maybe I like that. Okay. Yep. Okay, so let's keep looking. Nothing is glued. I'm just, like I said, gathering pieces for everything right now. So let's see. You need something else there to help me, like, let's look at one of those stickers. All together. Maybe this one. We'll put it to the side. The title down here. I just anything that is I'm thinking right now. Please note it. So I already know where this is going to sit, so carefully. Okay. It's going to sit right there. Right there. So let's secure my picture. Foam adhesive behind. There. See? We're doing good at time. Oh yeah. It's not even been an hour, so we're doing good. And that's because I worked ahead a little bit, but you can easily do this within the hour too if you decided to. I'm gonna go right here. See, right at the edge of my, right there. Maybe a little bit, tiny bit lower, so. Right there. Okay. So I know that one's gonna stay there. Where is that? Here. Sparkle and shine. So let's get some foam adhesive behind it. No, this needs foam adhesive. Okay, let's put another one here. Perfect. My hat. Oh, we can go with this one. No. Socks. Can I move the noted a bit? So I forgot there is a sticker. Careful. Lower it a bit. Perfect. Much better. Foam adhesive. See, different height of foam adhesive. So. And I had my little pad somewhere here. Yep, right there. Behind the sock a little bit. There we go. If I move the socks over here, so you can tell that they're socks. No. There. Like that. Let's see this one here. That's it. Like that. So, and he said behind my sweater here. There we go. This is this part here. Let's see. Holiday memories. I had some thin foam adhesive here. All bundled up. Put some foam adhesive behind it. Different heights, so or different widths. I don't know how you call them. Okay, I'm gonna cover that little cup of something yummy. So I'm just trying to think how do we put this? Yeah, I like that better. Yeah. I want you to see the shape of the scarf, so now my hat. Yeah, right there. And lift it up a bit here. We're still gonna add more stuff, don't worry. So still add more stuff to it, but my three places are done. So now my title is gonna be down here. So I'm just trying to see what I need something like a line or something that is going to keep it in place. So I'm just looking at what we have here. Remember how we had like that all together? Okay. It needs to be like in a different like I'm gonna play with the black no. Let's just play with the title. So, Jingle celebrating the good life. Hooray for great moment. I do like this part, so let's okay. This is the backing of the tape. Here and let's pull our some over. I love the font. Yeah. Let's see. Think together. I want to see if you can read it. Yeah, you can read it. Okay, perfect. So get this out. A little bit of foam adhesive on this side. Oh, what did I do my tick here? Ruler now. Go. Just to make sure that I don't go crooked. Okay. G. And G. Another T, another T. Another H. And I want my title to sit like right around here, like not past that. So it balances everything out. Perfect. It does need something here, like kind of like cemented. So let's see what we can find. What I have. Yeah, nails here. They're gonna come in handy. Okay. Need something like here to kind of like bring it down. So I'm just, it's not bring it down. It's just like to make sure it's not like my friend will say floating in space. That's pretty much what it's right now kind of doing. So I need to find a way to ground it. That's the word I was looking for. Ground it to my page. So that is going to require something to go down here. So I'm just looking at my things here to see what I have. So like a piece of washi tape would be nice. Something that like, like a phrase or something that it goes this way. So I'm just looking, I'm gonna need these two. I'll be looking at them, these things that I'm going to need from them. And they just, even the stamp might come in handy. So I'm looking at the stamp right now. Let's go down here. See, all together. See, something like that. Something that's just going to be like a line that is going to together. And I do remember, no. And it can't be that big. It just needs to be like a little line, which I am thinking that I want to do. Watch, I'm gonna and just look at something that it came to my mind. So let me just see if I don't find anything here. Update our family photo. No, we did that. I'm gonna. This is how we. Cherish traditions. It's not a cherished tradition. Family time. Kind of like that there. Together. I like the water theme, and I see why I like it. See, that just brings it all, like the fact that it's color, that it kind of creates a line, kind of brings it together. And I'm thinking, what if I kind of go like that? No, like this. What a theme I like. What a theme. What a theme. So let's cut this. Yep. So now, see what do we have here that we're going. It's gonna help her. Shine is always a good thing. Okay, so let's make sure this is nice and straight. Okay. See where we're going to put this. Do we need green? No, wait, let's see. Okay. Okay. Then something a little bit on the pink side. Just be careful when you pull this out because it comes with the acetate, so you have to be careful. Okay, I need something in a different color. So maybe some, we have been some blue. There we go. Okay, like that. Now we need to put it here. So let's see some, maybe some yellow will be good here. Do we have yellow? See this one here. Yellow. That's not my favorite color, but it needs, yeah. So now we go into the pink here. Right there, in between. So And I put something not to like the green that I had over there. And I need something else. So let's go with this little pink. We'll change this one into, again, let's embrace the yellow. It's a bit bigger. Yeah, we like that. We're gonna need to stuff up here too. Let's go with the green star. We're bringing green, so we're gonna tie it all with the green. Let's get some, there's some yellow there. Sure, let's get some yellow here too. So this is big. Let's switch. Okay, smaller green. And then a little bit of in it in this shape and this little star. There we go. And then we're gonna go over here. So now here's where we're gonna decide if we put it, if we're gonna go down. So this needs yellow. Let's go with some pink and a little bit of green. Yeah. Go with the puffy stickers. We're not done yet. Yeah. There's not much. It's kind of very simple. So embellishments are gonna help you here. Yeah. So there is a little, look at, is this a bell? Or it's a cup? No. Better. A little bit of purple, just like, what is the word? Just make them like a little bit bigger. So we'll need something over here. Okay. Just gonna play with all the colors. Okay, we're gonna need to add it over here. So the same type of star or something similar. And then another puffy dots. And that's about it. I'm not gonna add it here. I do need something like down here. So I'm just gonna see what I have, like something kind of like, let's see this. I don't like that. Let's see. I just need something here. See if it's a good ball. No. I might need a star then. I said no, but I'm thinking about it now again. Let's see. Yep. And a little dot. Okay. Yeah. I don't think it needs anything else. If I keep putting stuff, it's gonna cover this, and I don't want to cover what I did in the middle. So I don't. There you go. See, we just have to create on the background, but then the rest is fairly simple. So I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, a simple. Let me just before it beeps. Simple layout. I'm going to flip the camera before you guys can see me, and then pretty much done. There you go. You can see my hair was tied up while I worked. I hope you enjoyed this. It gives you an idea. I'm gonna show you one more time on how you can use your kit and one of the dies. All I had to do was create the background. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. It's getting dark right here in Toronto already, so I'm not offering the picture until the weather is better and there's better light. But there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys. Okay, good night, everybody.